Welcome to this week's installment of Game On. I'm your host, Jeff Bideman. District playoffs have begun for our boys and girls basketball teams, and our wrestling programs are continuing their march to Hershey. We'll have that and much more right here, right now on Game On. We welcome Rick Woelfel into the Game On studio to bring us the latest news from hockey around the rinks. Rick, good to have you on board.
Jeff, good to be here. Thank you.
All right, Sunday the Flyers Cup seeds come out, and we certainly have a AAA team that's worth following.
Right, Jeff. That would be Holy Ghost Prep. They are trying to win their first Flyers Cup since 2007. This has been a good year for them. They've won 18 games. They have experience. Dylan Cerebi and Brian Parker, two of their top scorers, are seniors. They know what it takes to be successful at this level. They have two outstanding goaltenders, Peyton Jones and Alex Taylor, both of whom are giving up less than 2 goals apiece. They're going to be a very dangerous opponent. You have to look at them as one of the favorites.
All right, so one team at the AAA level, but at the AA level, we got a handful of teams that are in the mix.
A big handful, Jeff. Central Bucks South and Central Bucks East will be likely the top 2 seeds in either order. Central Bucks South got deep into the tournament last year. They're a very experienced team. Central Bucks East comes in with maybe not as much offensive output, but they're an outstanding defensive team. They've only given up 35 goals all season. They have 2 outstanding goaltenders. They're giving up less than 2 goals a game. That is huge when it comes to postseason hockey, giving up so few goals.
All right. The other sports obviously have major postseasons. Hockey's postseason, I think, is a real grind. What does it take to be a successful team in the playoffs?
A little bit of luck doesn't hurt, Jeff, but there are a couple of factors that kick in. One, avoiding taking foolish penalties. If you're playing shorthanded for any long stretch, you're going to get in trouble. A good team will capitalize on that. You need solid goaltending. That doesn't mean make the spectacular save, but it means your goaltender, whoever it is, has to make the routine saves, the ones that he should make. And finally, get production from more than one line. A lot of times at the high school level, teams get production from just their top scoring line. You need more than that in the playoffs. You need to have 2 lines that are producing.
All right, it's always interesting to see these teams as they follow their way to the Flyers Cup Championship. It'll be fun to watch them this year. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Jeff, thanks for having me.
Joining us now in the Game On studio is Drew Markle. Drew, before we get into the district wrestling talk, there's some unsettling news coming out of the Palisades program. It appears that a decision that Coach Omar Parada made a few weeks back could cost him his job.
Yeah, Jeff, hopefully that won't happen. If you remember, a couple weeks ago in the District 11 dual meet tournament, Parada forfeited his match against Bethlehem Catholic for a number of reasons. One being that he wasn't happy with the fact that Bethlehem Catholic had some of its junior varsity wrestlers in its lineup, and it's a kind of a respect issue for Parada. District 11 on Sunday banned him from coaching this year and next. Palisades officials are going to have a meeting next Wednesday, a public meeting, to discuss the situation. And hopefully they'll take a stand and do the right thing and fight for Parada and get him back reinstated. That would be the thing I'd like to see.
All right, the District 1 tournament begins this weekend, and I know there are 2 anticipated matchups that you're really looking forward to.
Absolutely. There are 3 district tournaments in Class AAA, District East, Central, and West. Most of our kids will be at the District East tournament at Hatboro, and at that tournament, there'll be, like you said, two good ones, 126 pounds, Council Rock South senior Dan Martaccio and Penridge senior Ben Ross. Both of these guys have won state medals in the past. That'll be a great one. And then also at 145, CB's Francesco Fabosi, who was undefeated until last Saturday when he was pinned by CB West junior Riley Barth. They'll probably wrestle again. So Barth caught Fabosi in what they call a flying cement job, which is a fancy name for a standing front headlock, but we put names on stuff. So, but I look for Fabosi to bounce back in that one. But it should be good. You know, nice little revenge, and the whole thing should be exciting.
All right. Along with District 1, we also have District 12 and National Prep Wrestling tournaments this weekend. Are there some wrestlers there that we should be looking for?
Yeah, and improving Archbishop Wood will be over at LaSalle High on Saturday for the District 12 tournament. Junior Chad Hageley and freshman Chad Sheehan both won Catholic League titles last week, becoming the first Wood wrestler since 2005 to win Catholic League individual championships. Both of those guys should do well. And then starting Friday and ending on Saturday, Germantown Academy will be up at National Preps at Lehigh University. They should have a handful of medalists there, although unfortunately 2 of their better kids, Christian Kurgaitis and John Grossi, suffered injuries and won't be able to compete for Steve Hill and the Patriots.
All right, from here on out, it pretty much becomes an individual wrestling tournament.
Right.
So it's time to wrap up our top 5s, our final ones for the year.
Well, the final ones, we're going to go Council Rock South first, Germantown Academy second. We're going to push Penridge to third. Penridge, a very good tournament team. They have about 6 or 7 really good wrestlers that will do well. We'll get them team titles as we move along through the tournaments. Fourth, we're going to go with North Penn, and fifth, CB East.
Okay, thanks, Drew. Switching gears here to girls basketball, 2 SOL Continental rivals meet in the playoffs, and our own Jen Wilgus has a report from Lansdale.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, North Penn and CB South split their regular season meetings, with South picking up the most recent W in overtime back in January. With an automatic bid to states on the line here Wednesday, clearly North Penn had a little extra motivation to protect its house. That sense of urgency didn't really show until the second half. And then it was just enough for the Maidens to hold off CB South 43-40 and advance to the District 1 quarterfinals.
Definitely just mental toughness and preparation. We studied the film of when that game where they beat us in overtime. I mean, they deserved to win that game, so we just looked at everything we did and really adjusted. In the first half, I think nerves kind of hit us a little bit. Like you said, it's a league rival. We know anytime you play anybody in this league, the top 5 teams, you can win. I mean, you can win any game, you can lose any game. It's up in the air every game. So in the second half, we just really we just bared down, and I think like I said, we were just smarter.
On Saturday, North Penn will face another league rival, CB East, in the final home game for the team's seniors.
It's incredible. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of every single person on this team. We've all put 150% effort into practice, and on to the next one. So I wouldn't say there was doubt, but I don't want to sound like we wanted to walk onto the court and we knew we were going to win. We knew CB South was going to come out and try to kick our butts, and for a second they did, but we stepped up, came together, and we worked it out.
CB South coach Beth Matern will now lead her team into the playback round, where the Titans will battle for the district's 9th or 10th seed in the state tournament.
I mean, for us, I hope it's the motivation that we have 2 seniors who've been a big part of this program. South we've never made it to the state tournament before, and I hope those are 2 motivating factors for us, that we go out and we play, and we just execute.
Here to talk boys basketball from Clearwater is Kevin Cooney. Kev, by the looks of it down there, I'm not so sure you're going to want to be coming home here.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough to leave this and come home. Hopefully the weather stays warm up there as it's supposed to be this weekend.
All right, Kev, what did you think of CB West's big win over PW Tuesday night?
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Adam Sherman. I mean, CB West is a team that, traditionally has played very tough in these type of circumstances. It was not a big surprise that they went in the PW last night and won that game, because they have a style of play that teams outside of the Continental, who don't see them a lot, kind of seem to have trouble with. They can slow the game down, they can frustrate a team, they can play really good defense, and I think that's where you saw with West that West was able to kind of get PW off its game. Look, and we had said all along, this was not a great tournament. You look at the way that things were going, and you already have lost Great Valley. Now you've lost PW out of the main field for the district title. I think that it was kind of expected, to be honest, and especially when a team like West, you can play tough defense.
We have 3 locals left, Kev, at the 4A level. Which one of those 3 do you think has the best shot at a run at a district title?
Of the 3 local teams still alive in the district tournament, now remember, there's some that are, Saturn's going to be able to play them way back into the state. So the 3 teams in the district tournament still alive. I think the best shot goes to Pennsbury. I think their field kind of lines up for them perfectly to make a run maybe to the finals. Abington having to play Chester, I think, is a little bit of a bad matchup for them. It is a rematch of last year's district semifinal. I just don't think that it lends to a potential long run for the Ghosts. But I think for the Falcons, they're set up here. They could get to the district final. The way this field is right now, I don't like anybody, again, as a given. But I think Pennsbury probably set up the best.
The AAA playoffs get rolling this week. We've got the #1 seed in Holy Ghost. Can they hang on to that top billing?
Yeah, Holy Ghost Prep really has been one of those teams all year that has lived off its offense. It's played pretty sound defense. They obviously lost in the BAL tournament. And like the 4A tournament, I don't see a AAA team that necessarily really pushes them. The one that kind of comes up to mind would be Lower Moreland, but Holy Ghost has beat them twice. So I really think that it's Holy Ghost's AAA tournament to win, but we'll see where it goes.
All right, Kev, before you begin that long drive back from Florida, give me your top fives this week.
Top five this week, a little bit of some changes here as we shuffle things up with the playoffs. One will be Abington. They will be number one. Number two will be Pennsbury. Number three, still Germantown Academy. Number four will still be Holy Ghost Prep, although their potential to move up is great because of the 3A field. And number five will put CB West. Obviously, with Woods exit in the Catholic League playoffs, West moving up into the state into the district quarterfinals. We're going to take them.
All right, thanks, Kev. Like Kevin pointed out, we have 3 teams left in the 4A bracket of the district playoffs, and one of them is Pennsbury. On Tuesday night, our own Jen Wilgus went to the Falcons' Nest to meet with Bill Coleman and find out what kind of challenges they face as they make a run to that district title.
Before the basketball season even started, Pennsbury players were being asked about their chances of winning a district championship. How have the Falcons dealt with those high expectations?
Just don't worry about it. Just go out there, play every night as hard as you can, hopefully get the win.
Their mentality is 1-0 and do what it takes to win the day. Own the day and you'll be fine. And you go on our board, in our locker room, it's 1-0. So we just focus on today, regardless of what people are saying. Yes, people are going to talk, but it comes down to 1-0 and doing the job it takes to win today.
Just because they've been taught not to look too far ahead doesn't mean the Falcons don't have a mission in mind. They received the highest seed, number 5, in the Suburban 1 League, despite finishing second in the National Conference, and they want to prove they belong in the district's Final 8.
We had a lot of people on our side that wanted us to get there, and then we had some people that didn't want us to make it to the top at all. So we just had to prove the doubters wrong, and now we're here, so we're just going to have to show them what we got. Make it to Temple, that's the goal. We want to go to Temple. We want to play in front of all our fans and just make them happy.
Temple University hosts the district semifinals, and Pennsbury must beat Springford on the road Friday to get there. They've already wrapped up their first state bid since 2010, and as observers suggested back in December, they feel this is their year.
We're just a great team. We love each other in the locker room. We're best friends. We just go hard in practice and just challenge each other to play hard. I don't want to lose. I don't think the underclassmen want to lose, so just got to take each game by itself and then see what happens.
That'll do it for all of us here at the Game On Studio. As always, we'd love to hear from you, the fans. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at HS Game On. We've got a special segment for you from Dan Duncan, who will provide analysis from Wednesday's girls basketball playoff. You can find that later today. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next Thursday.